what excites you about what you do in the day-to-day? What's going on in your research life?
So right now I work on the hydrogen economy, which is the idea that many of the energy usages and many of the energy applications in the world can be met with hydrogen. One might ask, well, what's the advantage of that? Why do you care about hydrogen? Hydrogen, when you use it as an energy source, does not have any carbon dioxide emissions. And so without carbon dioxide emissions, it's the opportunity to, we call the technical term, decarbonize those energy streams. So right now I work on how to produce hydrogen. Hydrogen, like electricity, is an energy carrier, so it has to be produced, moved, and then consumed. So I work on how to produce it. I work a lot on how to move it cost effectively, including potentially how to move it in existing pipelines, and then also work some on how to use it effectively and efficiently. And those uses can span everything from power plants to what we call distributed generation, which is power plants at a home or business, to vehicles, to furnaces, to chemical processes, all the different ways that we could use hydrogen. Hydrogen is one of the most versatile energy sources that's known, and encompasses everything that you can do with electricity, plus everything you can do with natural gas, plus some additional opportunities as well.
It sounds like an exciting place to be, looking for the future of energy.
Yes, hydrogen is definitely an exciting place to be, looking for the future. Right now we're seeing immense interest in it from companies that span oil majors to utilities to energy companies of all types looking at hydrogen. In the past, hydrogen economy has been proposed, but it's primarily been proposed only as a transportation fuel. This time around, we're seeing hydrogen economy be proposed as more of an economy-wide option that could decarbonize all of these different sectors together.
That is really so fascinating.
Thank you.
So we touched on this a little bit in your answer about the work you do and how you envision it serving the needs of our customers and communities in a net zero future. Like if you had to predict how you see this unfolding, what would it look like in a net zero carbon future?
Sorry, I need to think about that for a second.
It's totally fine.
I think in a net zero hydrogen future, hydrogen.
Okay, let's take a breath. Okay. All right.
In a net zero future, hydrogen would have an opportunity to supply carbon-free energy to any number of different needs of customers. And those could be the need for vehicles, the need for heavy transportation, trucking, the needs for thermal fuel as a replacement for natural gas, and the need for what we call power resiliency, which is how to produce power at your home or business when the power goes out. And so I think as we look as a utility and as an industry to embrace the future and to look at all those different customer needs, hydrogen is going to be something that we look at very closely because it aligns with both the customer needs and it aligns with business growth opportunities and it aligns with the decarbonization objectives of the company and of society.
Fantastic. That was great.
I didn't even practice these.
Yeah,
I was like,
it. See, that's the best, right? We're editing in our head. Now you know I said, please, no one script their answers. And what do you see for yourself in the future, personally and professionally? Like, where are you going from here? Where is NOAA going to be in 10, 20 years?
So this was the toughest. This was the toughest question I had to, on the list, really, because I don't know exactly. Like, no one wants to hear me talk about me, right? So I don't really, and the other answer is I don't really know. So is there more context or more specific question?
I think it's just like right now you're exploring the possibilities of hydrogen, where it's going.
Okay.
So maybe in 15, 20 years, you see like what you're working on now is coming to fruition, and
Okay.
Maybe you answer less about you personally, but more about your program.
Yeah. Your
Okay,
area,
that's
like,
right.
Yeah.
In all that you've been talking about, what do you think it could look like in the future? What would you like to see that vision be? In the best case scenario or something. Does that
Okay.
sound right?
Yeah.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when I was like, who cares? I don't even know what I'm going to do. Like, how can I go on camera and tell people what I'm going to do in 10 years? Yeah, I can do that. I can talk about the hydrogen.
So tell me, kind of where do you see this area going in 15, 20 years down the road in the future? What are we going to see?
I think 15, 20 years in the future, we're going to see, there is a possibility we will see the hydrogen economy really take off in a big way. And I think a lot of that increase will be on that time frame. It's not going to be in the next 5 years. It's going to be post 2030. I think that future looks like folks driving hydrogen vehicles. I think that future looks like a scenario in which renewables and distributed generation and all the things that have been held back before, but which could lead to equity outcomes in energy, that those are enabled by hydrogen. So I see a future in which hydrogen enables the things that result in energy equity for all customers. And hydrogen becomes a low-cost solution to provide clean energy. So it's going to be clean, and it's going to be reliable, and it's going to be affordable. And I think those are really important things for as we try to serve all of our customers. I think hydrogen has one other opportunity, that there is one other opportunity in this space, which is the ability of hydrogen to not demand that customers change. So many of the technologies that our industry is working on, electric vehicles, demand response, all of those things are asking in one way or another for customers to change their behavior. Hydrogen doesn't do that. Hydrogen meets the customers where they are. They can fill up their tank in 5 minutes and be on their way and drive 600 more miles in a car that they like, not a car that they can barely squeeze into. And I think that is a real opportunity for this program, for our R&D program to grow into that business opportunity over the next decade or two.
Okay, so everyone find a company that is in the hydrogen business and invest in that, right? Everybody buy stock.
I don't know whether the investments are going to be, that depends on the business specific, but.
That does bring up the idea of maybe talking a little bit about the need for R&D, the need for continued investment in R&D. That Southern Company believes in that. And
Yeah, let's talk about
Okay.
why Southern Company does what they do.
That's a good point.
Standard speech, which you often give about, to make sure people understand the value of R&D and achieving that.
I'll try to remember. It's usually Mark or Nick giving that speech.
Yeah,
But.
So let's talk about that. So why should we care about R&D, and how is Southern Company, if they are being kind of a forward-thinking leader in the R&D space, why should we care about investing in this area?
We need to invest now in R&D, and R&D is research and development. We need to invest in research, development, deployment, demonstration, and deployment, R&D.
I'm going to have you say that again.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about why we need to invest in this area.
We need to invest in research, development, demonstration, and deployment in this area now so that we are ready for the opportunities in the future.
Okay. Need to invest in some quiet emergency vehicles is what we need to invest in.
I think that defeats the purpose.
I think it does. I don't know. Maybe it could everyone's vehicle would move to the side and then the emergency vehicle. why do we need to care about R&D and invest